All right, hello Civics crew, sixth period. Here we are on Monday, April 27th, and it has been a Civics, to use a legal term, parade of horribles. That's where everything goes wrong. So I made this last night to show this morning and then lost it on YouTube. Couldn't find it anywhere this morning. And, well, decided to make another after I totally messed up posting the Chapter 9, Section 2 organizer and forgot to set it for make a copy. So I'm emailing you all this to apologize in person for setting up the document wrong. That's my fault. I just went a little bit too fast on that. And somewhere out there is the review that I made for this week. So yeah, I'm just going to make another because I've given up. So today is one of the harder sections. It's not harder in terms of, we're splitting the atom here. It just talks about the different parts of the executive branch of government. The bureaucracy, we've got the executive office, we've got the executive department, and we've got the executive agencies. And we're going to spend 2 days on this. Today, you're reading the book and you are filling out the organizer. Tomorrow, you're watching 2 videos that help really reinforce this idea. If we were together in class, I'd be spending a lot of time hands-on talking about the differences between the executive office, the executive departments, and executive agencies. Then on Wednesday, that's a very easy day. 9.3 is pretty simple. It talks about sort of the legal limits that are on the president. But as we've talked about before, I mean, what's really awesome and unique about the United States and our legal system is we couldn't have written everything down. If I have you in 11th grade, we're going to spend a lot of time on this, in that presidents establish precedents. And we decide whether or not those precedents are going to hold up constitutionally. Well, that's a bad example. We'll stay with things that are pretty straightforward, such as when you get onto Wednesday, you'll talk about President Jefferson. It says that the president has the ability to negotiate treaties with foreign countries if they are approved by the Senate, but here in 1803, for the bargain basement price of just $15 million, President Jefferson decides, well, this is an offer too good to pass up. We'll buy all of the Louisiana Purchase, which gave the United States land from the Mississippi River all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Then there's the example of President Truman and ordering a national seizure of steel mills when there was a strike during the Korean War. And then there's a decent piece on Richard Nixon. But since Watergate is the scandal, I don't really follow sports, but when, those cheaters in New England, what was his name? Tom Brady? They called it Deflategate, right? When President Clinton was impeached, they called it Monica-gate, right? I lived through the Iran-Contra affair in the mid-1980s, and that was Iran-gate. Like, every scandal has the term gate thrown on it because Watergate is the big one. Love teaching this in 11th grade. You get a little bit of it in 9th grade. We chose a short 10-minute clip from ABC News that talks about Watergate. Just, we spent a couple of days on this in 11th grade. You're answering the question of how did Richard Nixon abuse his power of the presidency? As you know, we've just gone through an impeachment trial, and I'm doing this right now in 11th grade, where we really had to cut a lot out of AP US history just because of the time constraints of only being able to allow these 30 minutes a day. But one of the things that we are emphasizing is what happened with President Nixon, what happened with President Clinton, because they're absolutely nothing like the most recent impeachment of President Trump. The circumstances were completely different. So it's really interesting. The first time that we started, since all the way back in 1868 with President Andrew Johnson, with Richard Nixon in 1973, really 1974, that the impeachment process was begun on a modern president. So you are writing a short answer to how did Richard Nixon abuse the power of the presidency. So, and then Friday is a review and a Kahoot, and then Monday, the 4th, you have your test again, open notes, open everything on Chapter 9. So today, the bureaucracy, right, as we go through the executive agencies, executive departments, and executive offices. Spend a day reinforcing that again tomorrow. 2 really good videos to help explain that, since I won't be there in person with you. Then Wednesday is an easy section. Wednesday's a really easy day, talking about how presidents, sort of pushed the limits of what they could and couldn't do. You really learn about executive privilege with the Richard Nixon as well. Thursday is all Watergate, the scandal, right? The first time a modern president was charged with abusing his power. Now, he's not impeached, he resigns before he is impeached, but the House Judiciary Committee did go through voting articles of impeachment, and then Friday is an easy review day. So, should be good. Sorry for all the problems. I'm going to email this to all y'all right now. So, miss you guys. I will check in with you again next Monday. All right.